think about a ball valve. You know, like you're saying the ball valve gets so much smaller.
You're supposed to have a full port on there for your home.
Well, no, I'm saying think of a 3/4 ball valve. You know, it's got such a small hole in it. You go up to 1 1/4 ball valve. It's got a bigger hole in it.
Right. It's volume. It does help with volume more. You can look at the watts, and if you have to repair it, it's a lot easier to repair 1 1/4 than 3/4. Usually people just scrap actually I got 2 1 1/4s, so that way I can actually use the union, take it out, and put it right back if it does fail. But most people aren't going to want to buy 2. Anyways, most of you know me. Put this in your phone while I get started, because you're going to be talking to me more. That's my cell phone number.
Does everybody know what Scott does here?
Oh, fix and explain.
Are you? Okay, good. I don't know what you do.
I got a bunch of notes you're going to see me doing this stuff. Alright, so for all you guys that don't know me, my name is Scott Howell, obviously, and I used to work here. I know probably 1/3 of y'all, and I used to do HVAC sales here, and it wasn't my cup of tea. And so I ended up going to another company for about 1.5 years, and then I started to communicate with Jim and everybody here at HCB. And I came back because Jim's fixing to start a trade school. And what he's going to be doing is teaching people, not so much you guys, Miss Sarah Beth, everybody's been doing a really good job, and you guys have been doing classes, everything. I've been sitting in on a couple of them. So you really have been getting trained, you've been getting all the education and stuff that you need, whereas like commercial and other areas they haven't, or what we're starting to see is a lot of people that are coming up are getting hired, they basically have no skill set whatsoever. Then they're like, hey, here's your new helper. They go in the truck with you, they go to a person's house, they're walking around, and you're like, I don't know what's going on, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're sitting there trying to make them look important, trying to do stuff. A month later, you put up with it as much as you can. Worst case scenario, you're like, this guy's just not working out, we got to get rid of him, and we spent a crap load of money on him, he's gone. So this is what this is going to be, is like an express course. We can put them in there, it's like a boot camp. We're going to teach them how to swing a hammer, how to talk to people, where you guys will get into someone's house and you can at least say, don't worry about him putting his booties on. You can say, go to the truck and grab me this fitting, grab me this tool, and he'll have that basic knowledge to where he comes to you and he's a good tool. He's something valuable to you that you can use, and then you can start to train him even more. And then as we find out that he's doing better, he can go to more advanced levels to where we can really start working on his demeanor, how he handles other people and does stuff. Okay? So that's going to be service, construction. We're going to, same thing, different classes. We're going to have the people come through. They're going to be going through obstacle courses. They're going to be learning stuff. Some people are cut out to do service like you guys do. So we're going to, they'll be in construction. We're going to teach them stuff. It's going to be very interactive. It's going to be a lot less of what I'm about to do today. I'm looking at Pac-Man and different games, and there's going to be all kinds of cool stuff going on over there. We're doing obstacle courses. Right now I'm fixing to shed these clothes after I talk to y'all and start hammering down walls and cutting ditches. And so I'm working, and it's going to be a separate company too, by the way. And we're going to, eventually, the plan is to have other companies using our school as well. I don't know everything, nobody does. So we'll be hiring other professionals to come in, talk about money, health, and make it just an all-around good person. So this is really exciting. You guys should be excited about it. I'm totally excited about it, and I'm working really hard to help accomplish it. So that's where we're at with that.
These guys, though, we will have trainings over there, and there will be, he is actually building a mock house in this building for you guys to go in and do some higher level trainings on different systems that will be located. Yes. There'll be a house with a subfloor. So it's going to be where it's totally hands-on training facility. And we will, when we bring in vendors, you will have equipment there to work on as you're getting trained.
It's going to be pretty neat. And And like Sarah Beth was saying, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I'm not going to ramble on about it for a long time, but like the mock-up house, I'm going to find like the meanest 85-year-old woman, and you're going to go to the door and not know who's back there. And we're going to watch how you guys react to it. And it's going to be, and you're not going to know what the call is. You're going to go into this house and you're going to find it, and we're going to watch you, and you're going to feel uncomfortable, and it's going to be great. So it's just how it's going to be. So, but it's going to be fun. It's all going to be really cool, relaxed. I want to get away from all the textbook stuff where we're just drilling in your head. It's going to be hands-on. That's how I learn. It's going to be interactive. And it's going to be fun. Now,
Okay, I have one more question. Are you giving them your number because you want to be like their tech support?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will shut up.
So that's the main goal. But like I said, now what I'm doing is I'm going back there, and I've got a lot of work I'm doing, like ripping up the ditches. I'm redoing some bathrooms over there with some of the guys, more so from construction, are over there helping me a little bit, getting this thing set up. So I'm really busy over there. I'm working, getting dirty, tired, but once this is set up and we get going, immediately people aren't just going to be sitting there saying, hey, we want all our guys to go over there. So Jim just doesn't want to pay me to hang out and pass out flyers. So what I will be doing is helping you guys. When you're at someone's home, you're dirty, you don't want to be sitting there looking at a window this big trying to find something on the internet. You know what I'm saying? I got a computer that's this big. I'm sitting there, I'm relaxed, I'm clean, hopefully. I can look it up, and I'm going to open your guys' window from this to this. You see what I'm saying? And while you're working, you're interacting with the customer, I'm going to be, hopefully I know it, but I probably won't, and I'll be sitting there Googling it, trying to figure it out. I'll have the vendors on speed dial. If I got a call, if you got to ask a question about Renai, anything, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be your wingman, all right? So that's why I want you guys to have my number. Right now, like I said, I'm knocking down walls. It's hard to get in touch with me, but if you, by any means you have a question, you can contact me. And for those that don't know, my trade is I'm a plumber, and I've been doing it for about 17 years. I know I don't look it, but and I've worked very hard at it. In my opinion, I think I did a good job at it. There's still some things I'm learning, but if you guys need to ask me any questions about it, I can help you. Plumbing or HVAC, electrical, I know some basic stuff. I can help you there too a little bit, but by all means, my trade is plumbing. All right. So what they wanted me to come and talk to you guys today about was American leak detector. They have this great thing called sonar where they come out and make your world so much easier. You go to someone's home, they have a leak, you can say, well, call this company, American Leak Detector, I'm out of here. They'll come find the leak, and then boom, it's done. That's not how we want to do it. So what I'm going to do is cover some steps, and at the end I'm going to explain why we want to do it this way. So these, I was going to print something out and hand it to you guys and say, here's all the steps to follow, but that'd be foolish of me because just like I said, I don't know everything. There's going to be some guys in here that's going to give some good points probably today, and we'll hear those at the end. If you have any ideas, I don't want to go too far into this though. I just want to cover some of the basics that people need to really look at before they call American Leak Detector to come out to the house. The first thing I want to go on is check the meter. That's obviously the first sign. And does everybody know how to tell if I'm not even going to ask because no one's going to raise their hand if they don't know. So you got your meter, and this is all going to seem, and I'm not trying to insult anybody, I just want to go over, if there's one person here that doesn't know, I'm fixing to teach them. So you probably all might know this, but if you have a meter to your service line, your water service line running from the meter to the home, that's your service line. Minimum 3/4. If it's 1/2 inch, it's old. You have a leak detector on your meter, and I think ours are triangles, maybe a star, but they can change. Some old meters might not even have them, okay? So if you have a triangle, a little one, I'm sure you've seen it, the red, blue, black, there might even be like a star like this. It's very small, it's probably 1/4 inch round. that sucker will be spinning, and that's what it's designed to do. So don't think, if it's spinning, you got a leak. It will pick up the very minute leak. It's geared that way, it's its job, it's what it does. So don't think that, oh, I might still have a drip even though this ain't turning. If you're leaking, that's turning. You gotta watch it. Now, if they don't have one of these small little leak detectors you have in the wheel, and you have all these numerical numbers all the way around, blah, blah, blah. And then you have your little spinner thing for the meter man to read. If you don't have one of those, you can go over here and you can make a mark on this needle. It's geared differently, but if you make a mark on that and you go back in 20 minutes, you're going to tell if you have a leak.
Or take a picture.
Take a picture, smart. Now you got a leak. Now the first thing you got to do is find your leak, and you want to do it the easiest possible way. In my opinion, that's where it gets tricky. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go talk to the homeowner, because they don't know crap about plumbing. But you know what they do know? They know their home. So you're going to work with them and try to figure it out. So I got a couple notes here. So what you want to do is soggy spots in the yard, weird noises, hot spots in the floor. You want to ask them all these questions, and I'll go on and tell you why you need to do that. Maybe they have an old water line that was capped in the backyard, and they're like, oh crap, I forgot I used to have an outbuilding here. Maybe they just bought the home, and the previous homeowner said, oh, I have a building in the back that used to be over there, and they're like, I think he had a building in the back. Well, what did he do over there? Well, he raised goats. I bet the goats need water. So there's probably something over there that's old that you might need to go investigate, okay? So, and we'll get into that too more, but, so you want to talk to them, jog their memory. They are not plumbers, you are plumbers, you guys work together, you might solve the problem right there, and all you did was talk, you didn't even pop out a tool, you're interactive, they know that you are interested in fixing their leak. Next thing, start to look for obvious signs. So it's leaking. So what are you going to do? My first thing is, I'm going to do anything that I don't have to work hard to do. Work smarter, not harder. So first thing I'm going to do is look for obvious signs. You guys have to do home inspections anyways. When you go there, you should be, I think. They should be looking for other problems in the home. So while you're talking to the homeowner, like I said in the previous step, maybe it's a good idea just to walk them through their home and look for obvious leaks. And the ones that I have had that I mentioned here is the water heater. There's piping, it's visible, it's not in a wall. It's a mechanical device, it fails, water heaters leak, check the water heater. See if the water heater's leaking. If it's a newer home and it's done right, you're going to have a pan, it's going to be piped outside, and you're going to have a pressure reducing valve that's supposed to be piped outside. That sucker could be leaking, draining outside, feeding the grass, no one even knows it. So look at all those signs. The other thing is ice maker and washing machine boxes. You're going to have ice maker and washing machine boxes, those fail. Look behind the washing machine, look behind the refrigerator, get a flashlight out, see if those type of things are leaking. Especially in the slab house, they can be leaking, running down the wall and be going right through where they chipped up a hole in the concrete and you don't even see the water and it's just going in the drain field underneath the slab into the gravel. Stuff like that, real simple. You can look at those things and you can try to see if there's a leak. Next thing, what's the age of the home? Older homes are more likely to have galvanized service lines. Everybody knows this. A good way to look at this is when you're at the meter and you're looking initially to see if it was starting, pull back some of that mud, some of the grass, kick the spiders out of the way and see if there is PVC hooked up to it or galvanized. If someone's come in there and has already replaced the galvanized line, you're going to see a PVC adapter of some sort. That might give you a good sign of whether or not it's PVC or galvanized. 9 times out of 10, if it's galvanized, there's your problem. This valve, so what I like to do is if the home's older, it's got a galvanized line, how do we tell if it's the line in the ground, if that's what's leaking? And the first thing we do is filled, you know this, right? To find out if your service water line's leaking into the home.
You have to cut off at the house.
You do, yeah, but you're supposed to, by code, every home is supposed to have a full port service valve at the entry to the home. And then you know the water meter can be turned off. You want to find the leak in the ground to the home. It's an older home, galvanized line. After you did the visual inspections, you don't see nothing, check that main. I might even do it first if it was galvanized line. You go to you find their buildings, their valve to their home, and you shut it off. This valve by code is supposed to be there. 9 times out of 10 it's there. You're going to look for it. It's not going to be there because it's covered up by mulch. It's been buried. It's visibly can't find it. Most of the time when you go and get the installer to come back and redo the main, and he digs up that whole main, he's going to find it. But most of the time it's there. Sometimes it's in the basement, sometimes it's in the crawl space, right where the water line comes in. And what you would like to do, and if you're trying to find the end of that line, typically what they do is all homes need to have hose bibs. Plumbers are lazy. What are they going to do right when they stub up? They're going to come right off of it and shoot a hose bib out the line. So you can look for that hose bib, and that's probably where your service valve is going to be in that general vicinity. You find that, you shut it off, then you go over, keep the meter on, and then you see if your meter's still spinning. Okay? If it stops spinning, what do you got?
Leak in the house.
Okay. How do you know though?
Because
I mean, if it stops spinning, that means you cut
The water's not passing through the
It's
meter,
not going
right?
to the house.
Okay. Now, what if it's spinning?
Then you got a leak in the house.
You got if it shuts off and it keeps spinning, what do you got? A leak in the main?
Service line.
Okay. What if the valve doesn't close all the way?
You run that.
Okay. How do you tell if you do? You go. What I would do is there's one thing you can do is you shut that valve off. Okay. It's still spinning. You want to rule that out.
Turn the faucet on in the house.
Turn the faucet on in the house. Exactly. Go to the highest spot. If it's upstairs, second floor, it goes to basically what we have is you got your main, you got your meter, you got your home, you got your valve. You cut that off, and this meter's still spinning. In all reality, that valve's supposed to be shut off. This is leaking. So what I'm talking about is if this valve doesn't shut off, you didn't do that, you still don't know where your leak's at. So to figure out if your valve's leaking, there's 2 ways. One I found out last night researching. One thing I didn't know, but I'll explain that later. But you go through here, you go to the highest fixture in the house because here's your main. You don't want to be sitting there waiting for it to drain. If it's a 2nd-story home, you go up there, you turn it on, and you see, and it's going to run for a second, bleed the pressure off. If that faucet stops running, your valve stopped. And then what that tells you is you can tell whether or not that leaks in your main. So that is shut off. This is still spinning. That means your leak's right here in your main. If you go into the yard, now you know that the leak's in here. We'll go to the house in a minute, but now you know the leak's in their yard. What do you look for to try to find? Do you just call American Leak Detector?
No, a soggy spot. You got a soggy spot. You start there.
Soggy spots. What else?
Witching rod.
The witching rod. Well, that'll tell you where the line's at. Yeah, we won't get into all that church, but but you have a leak. What else? Anything else?
Sinking in spot.
What is the one thing? Okay, so it's a PVC line, Philip. Okay, so now you have, so you're trying to find a leak, and then all of a sudden, so you got a soggy spot, which we asked the homeowners earlier if you have soggy spots. Right then we might have found the leak, okay? So another thing you can do is, the one thing, I used to live in Michigan, and we have the most beautiful lawns up there, because it's not 90,000 degrees here. What don't we have here in Alabama? We don't have a lot of water and moisture. It's dry, it's hot. What happens when you put a lot of water to a spot of grass? It's very road weed. That's very simple, man. Sometimes it really sticks out. And they say, hey, do you have a dog that likes to pee or urinate in that spot a lot, and that's why it's growing? No. Well, that could very well be your leak right there. That's where the water's coming out. So That's a good spot to look. Now, you have to use your better judgment, like Philip was saying. That's if it's a good new line, and maybe some weird thing happened where that line broke. But if it's a galvanized line, if it's old, really suggest, really try to sell them on getting a new line, because they don't want you to keep coming back out.
Most of the time you dig it up, there's nothing to fix. That's what I always tell you. You say, I can't dig it up and try it, but you gotta pay me for trying.
Yep. Well, you'll explain
Or
it to
we
them.
can replace.
Yep. And you say, or here's your options. But you're giving them options, you're showing them an effort. You found the leak. Now they feel comfortable with you rather than you saying, oh, here, American Leak Detector, come out, find this leak. And then they say, well, he didn't spend no time here. He doesn't seem like he really cares about my home. You did. You spent time, you made some money, you go out there, you look at the line. Now what are they going to do? They're like, now Philip knows what he's doing. I'm not going to call my neighbor to come over here and find this leak. You might be the first person that they call. They're HC Blake, right away, call the professionals. So you come out there and you're fixing, you're making an effort. If you make them feel uncomfortable, they're going to call their buddy. They're not going to wait for American Leak Detector. He might come out and find that patch and say, here, I can do the repair. If they're going to do a repair, let us do the repair. Make them feel comfortable. And if you do all these steps and you say, this is where I think the leak is, here's your options, I can dig it up, I can replace it, I can do this, you're letting them make that decision. They're feeling comfortable with you, you're going to get the job, you're going to make money, all right? And that's how I feel about it. What's,
Also, one thing I've actually run across, being an air conditioning guy, I don't know what I'm doing, but it's been a while back. I don't know what that's, that ain't schedule 40 or whatever it's called.
what is it called?
Thin wall, I don't know what.
Oh, you're talking about Schedule 20 PVC?
Yeah, I run across where they use that for a supply line.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. That's totally against code. You need to just let them know. It needs to be a Schedule 40 pressure pipe, or it needs. I mean, you can even still put galvanized pipe in the ground. You can put copper pipe, and you can put PEX. So there's a lot of options. Schedule 40 PVC is what we really want. I mean, do you agree with that, Phil? I mean,
Now we're doing PEX.
PEX is good too. Yeah, PEX.
Need 1 inch, because that's what code.
And limit the joints.
Yes, preferably none.
Yeah.
You don't want to start buying the ground? Very, very.
Sell 500-foot road.
Okay, so anyways, all right, back to it.
You want to.
I gotta go. This here is, so you got your water main. So basically we determined the valve's holding, meter is not, the meter is not spinning anymore, it stopped. So now you know that the leak is inside the house. You talked to the homeowners, you looked at all the easy spots. What you can start to do is, and this is where it gets tough, because you've looked at all the stuff that's visible, you're looking inside of the home. The things that I can suggest is, if it's a crawl space, get in that crawl space and get your good bright light and just sit there and be patient.
Make sure it's dry.
Yeah. You will look for that, look for drops. Before I go crawling around looking at all their subfloor, I shine my light at the opening and just wait for drips, because then I'll be like, that's where I gotta crawl, not over there or all over like this, So work smarter, not harder. There's a drip, I'm gonna go over there. You look, okay, here it is. Shower, it's something else, anything. You find out where that spot is, you go upstairs, you start to investigate. Water goes down. That's one good thing about water, is it goes down. It doesn't travel up. So what I like to do inside the home is go in and start investigating the system, breaking into smaller sections. You can go to, immediately when you walk into the home, you can go to the water heater and turn your hot water off. Go check the meter.
That's good for slabs, especially.
Right, I'll get to this side. Turn the hot water off. All of a sudden, your hot water system's isolated, and then boom, you got it's still spinning. So now you know it's a cold water system. So you can go to the fridge, for example, somewhere that just needs cold water off. It just helps you out. These are things you can use, okay? So then you can try to isolate that, try to see if it's your hot water system. What Philip was talking about was slab homes, especially slab homes. What they have is you have Slab homes are the pain. And the 2 times I've ever called out American leak detector, and I found a bunch of leaks, is because of a slab home. And what you have is a beautiful, nice home. It's built on a slab, and you have your water lines running underneath it. And what you can do there is, just like on slab homes, they do not put joints underneath the floor, unless you're doing a repair of some sort. That's the only time you do. I don't know if some of you guys know this, but if here's your home right here on a slab home, you got your water service line coming in, right? There's your foundation. Put that in there. Just, yeah. Here's your valve that we were playing with. Here's your meter, okay? Your water comes in, it goes up into a wall. And what they do is, here's your first fixture. They tee this line like this. And the hot, this is just one pipe. The hot, cold, both of them are running like this. This is your cold coming from the meter. You'll have your hot water heater over here, and that's the start of your hot line. It's basically just a run of pipe. So your cold comes in, it hits your first fixture, you have a T right here. And then they 90 back down. And they do that to prevent any joints from being underneath the slab, because who's more likely to screw up, us or the manufacturer rolling out pipe? Nine times out of 10, their pipe never leaks, okay? Our joints constantly leak because we had a bad day, something didn't work out. So we put all our work up in the wall, okay? So my point I'm trying to get at is, yes, if it's an older home and you know that they have copper, you talk to the homeowner and they say, oh, I have copper in there. Now it's PEX. You don't see these problems that much with PEX. With copper, you do, because they have soft copper and it comes in like usually a 60-foot roll. And what happens is the guy is sitting there on a slab. They haven't poured concrete yet. There's a bunch of gravel, and he's unwinding his copper. He's stepping on it, a little bit of a kink because he went over a rock wrong, and he keeps on going through, and then he rolls it out, he sleeves it, puts it in there, and then over time what happens is when he has a kink, it doesn't look like this, it looks like this, or multiple reasons. And what happens is the water hits there, and it's called turbulence, the water's flowing nice, it hits that, and then what it does is it wears down the walls of that copper pipe, and it starts to create pinholes, and you have a leak under there. That's about the time we call American Leak Detector, because they have a beautiful hardwood floor in there. They don't want to, if the leak's here, they want to know it. If it's over here, they don't want to start tearing their floor apart for it. But you can investigate these little spots, and what I was getting at was they do this to tee off, they'll hit the fixture, and then all your joints are up there, as opposed to putting a T down here and going straight up. So sometimes if they don't mind and you see some visible water stains right here, say, this is what's going on. I might be able to make a little hole, or if there's already a water spot in the drywall, you can investigate those little areas and check them out as well. The shower valves, I've gone and I've taken the plates off the shower trim. And sometimes when those fiberglass tubs, those can leak. They have a big enough hole cut out where you can shine your light up inside of that shower and look at the diverter there and look at the joints and make sure that that's not leaking inside of there. And if it is, then there's your problem. You can cut in a plate. Go to the closet behind it. They might have already replaced that sometime and not done a very good job. There might be a access plate like you would cut in if you were to change a shower valve, and you can pop that off, find it, you're the hero, done. They might have forgot about it. It might be covered up in a bunch of clothes. So that could be there too. Okay, now this one I don't know, I saved it for last because most of that stuff is just stuff that I went through. I did do some investigation last night because I'm working just like you guys. I did this on my own time trying to help y'all out. This is screwdriver to the ear trick. This was on Wiki Home. And it was yeah, and what they do is I've never done it. You take a long screwdriver and you hold it, and I like this, and I can see it working. But and back to seeing if your valve is shut off at the main. you can take a long screwdriver, if it's not buried, 30 feet deep, you need a really long screwdriver. Maybe you can use a metal pipe of some sort, but any type of metal iron piping with a metal iron valve, especially on copper homes, you can hold the screwdriver or the pipe to the actual valve while you got it shut off. And what they say is you take your thumb knuckle, you put it against the metal, and then you put your thumb knuckle against it right here at the base of your ear. And you can hear, like a stethoscope? Yeah. But you can hear if there's a slight water going through that valve, okay? So that's a really good way to hear. Now, if it works, I don't know.
That's a mechanic's trick.
Yeah. And so another thing too, and so when I heard that, I started to think, and they said to do it at hose bibs to see if you can go outside and you put on the hose bibs and start to hear the noise and start to get in the general area of where the leak might be. And what I really liked about that is if you guys ever built any homes or put the plumbing in homes, you always put your hose bib right next to your fixtures. You're not just gonna put, well, I want a hose bib over here and my sink's right here. You just want a hose bib in the backyard. You're gonna put it right where your plumbing's already at. Why would you go and run another 40 feet of pipe over there to the hose bib? So why I like this is because everywhere there's a hose bib at your house on the other side, adjacent side of the wall is plumbing fixtures in the wall. So you can really start to listen and hear that. And then you can let the homeowner decide whether or not you want to cut into the wall or inspect in that area prior to calling American Leak Detector. So I'll stop talking here off, but basically this is the end of it. Don't leave. Calling leak detection is the last step. Looking for leaks, in my opinion, I love it because it challenges me, and it really does. And I love going in there, I like Sherlock Holmes, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna find that leak. It's a test. That house is testing me to find that leak, and you better believe I'm gonna find it. And if I do, there's nothing more embarrassing to me, in my opinion, as a tradesman, for American Leak Detector to come out and they find a leak and that homeowner calls me back and it's like, oh man, really? That's rough. Now, the 2 times that I worked here, I did call American Leak Detector. That line was in the middle of their living room in a slab home. And I was like, well, I saved and did what I could for you. That's it. So there are times to call them, there are times not to call them. Find the leak. Don't let them call another friend. Don't let them call another company. Try to find that leak. If you can't find the leak, if you don't know, call me. I gave you my number. If I'm busy, call another plumber. Help them out. You guys just help each other out. And then I know sometimes you get into a situation where you got a weird homeowner looking over your shoulder, you're not thinking right. Call somebody, go sit in the van, call them real quick, say, hey, you might forget this stuff. They can help you out. So just call anybody. I mean, I'll be glad to help you do it. There's no such thing as a perfect plumber. You're not going to know everything, so don't think you do. Call somebody, have help them out. Anybody else got anything to add to the leak detection toilet?
Watch the time so you can tell them it's going to cost them more while you're looking.
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up.
The water pressure, because if you fix the leak and the water pressure is high, what's going to happen? It's falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Philip spoke about extended diagnostics. Y'all know about extended diagnostics?
What's the price of that?
You got it in your price book. I mean, I'll have to look up the code. I'll help you with that. Right, Brian.
That was good.
Yeah, Brian.
That was one of my keynotes on there. All right.
This has been a problem with callbacks in the past, Scott.
Yeah. One last thing, and this is on one of my keynotes. In between the water heater and water supply lines, I overlooked it with toilets. The flush valves in toilet tanks are junk. They're junk, and that's why we worried about the pressure being too high. I mean, if someone says, how high do you turn the pressure up? My mind immediately goes to a flush valve on a toilet, because those things can bust very easily. But one thing that does leak on you, when you go to this meter in the very beginning, and it's going really slow, you can go and look at the toilets. I'm glad you brought it up. But toilets leak, and sometimes you don't even know they're leaking. You can take the tank lid off, listen to the valve. If you hear a hissing, it's the valve constantly filling and running, the overflow. There's all kinds of multiple problems that can go on in there. One sure way to test a toilet, I think some of the supply houses carry it. It's a dye for the tank. All it is overpriced food coloring. It's like a little cartridge you can put in a tank. Put it in your toolbox. Buy some food coloring, because you put a couple drops in the tank and you sit there for 20 minutes, and I don't care who you are. I mean, a homeowner looks at that and they see the food coloring coming into their toilet. You're replacing a valve. You know, you found the leak. So those things leak. I bet you 50% of your toilets leak. Really do. And you put it in there and just, but toilets is a very good one. Yep.
Food coloring has a lot of build outs.
I'm sorry?
The food coloring has a lot of build outs.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Should we be doing that on our PEAs?
Mm-hmm.
Putting the tablets in, and then when you go around and you come back,
Yep.
and you
carry
find.
about 1,000 flappers.
I'm gonna get Courtney to order these tablets today.
We use food coloring, it's a lot cheaper. You just put a couple of drops. The tablets cost what, I mean,
Well, I've seen them where they have the instructions where you can hand the homeowner a sheet that explains what you're doing. We could make one.
So
Thank you, Brian.
Philip, did you want to add something about the meter or something? Okay.
Like I said, make sure you're gonna fix the leak, check the pressure. What we need to fix is the
But it doesn't have little
Yeah.
top, so it's usually.
Yes.
Where
You
we
got-
put it.
And you guys, you all should have, I've carried one always. You all have the gauges you can put on the hose. Right? That's just,
Who doesn't have their gauge? Who doesn't have a gauge? Rocky?
I have one.
Okay, so Bill,
I mean, even if you're an HVAC tech guy, I think
Tommy.
it's coding. They can put a hose bib close. No, I don't think it is, but usually there's a hose bib close by your HVAC unit.
It is code.
Julian,
It
do you
is
have
now.
one? Do you have a gauge?
So to clean off, they do that to clean out the coils and stuff. Put that gauge on there. Call a plumber. Say, hey guys, this pressure over here is 90 to 100. That way you're not fixing it on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it's something good to check.
We do that on every USA.
Okay. Thank you.
Good job.